Did you know you can compost in a bucket? I will show you the process. I do have some compost that I've already composted, so I'll show you the process of what I did. Here is my compost bucket. This is a 5-gallon bucket here, just from Lowe's, that I drilled holes on the tops and on all the sides. And here is what it looks like. Let me open it up. So my plan here today is to sift out all these large pieces. So there is a bunch of wood pieces, and I'm going to sift it out, and then most of it is finished. And then I want to start a new batch of compost and show you the process on how I compost on my balcony. I have another bucket here. This is the compost that I have sifted. I have this, I bought it from a Dollar Tree. It's just something super simple that was cheap that I can sift through. Here I'm just going to scoop all the compost in and then sift through. And you can see the larger particles of pieces of wood chips that haven't decomposed and other things. And then I'll just put it back into the compost bucket so that it can finish composting. But you can see all the larger pieces. I finished sifting the compost here. This is what it looks like when it's pretty much finished. It should be super crumbly and then smells like nice rich soil. Here's the empty bucket, and here's some roots that didn't get decomposed. So we'll put this back in there and I'll show you how to step-by-step compost on your balcony. Composting is actually really easy once you learn the steps and what ingredients you need for composting. I don't have a lot of room, so I will be composting in this bucket. So make sure you have drill holes on the sides here and the bottom, and then on the lid. So the 3 main things you need for composting will be your browns, greens, air, and water. So the first thing that I'm going to do is add my browns. And what you want to do is have a layer. So you want browns and then greens, and then you just keep layering. The ratio you'll want to use is 2 browns to 1 green. For the browns, you can use toilet paper rolls, paper, cardboard, sticks, dried leaves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shred up this paper. And make sure when you are using cardboard to take off all the tape. Don't use any glossy cardboard or anything like that. I'm also going to throw in the roots that I have. Here's what we have so far, and I'm going to add the green materials next. So that is any kitchen scraps that you save, any vegetables, any leaves that you threw out from your garden. Now make sure there's no diseased plants that you're putting in. I have a bunch of lettuce and parsley that was in my fridge, so I'll just put that in there for this layer. And the smaller the pieces, the faster it will compost. Now because this isn't a actual hot compost, it does take a little bit longer. And I just had this lettuce in the fridge. See, it's going bad here. So I'm going to throw it out and compost it. And you also can compost napkins, paper plates. It's really nice to give back into the garden and have no waste by composting. Here is my Utopia indoor compost, where I compost most of my kitchen scraps, and I don't keep anything that has a lot of liquid. So older tomatoes, it does get slimy in there. So I usually keep the dried. So these are a lot of dried leaves, tea, and then some stems. The other kitchen scraps I'll put in a Ziploc bag and I will freeze it so it doesn't stink up the kitchen. Now the indoor composter actually has a charcoal filter. It does filter the smell through, but I like freezing most of the kitchen scraps and then putting it into the bucket when it's ready. We have some carrots that we shredded up, so we'll put that in there. And then I'm going to add all of the bigger materials. So there were still roots and a lot of wood chunks. So we'll put that for the next layer. To help speed up your compost, you can add a compost starter or some of your native soil that will have all the microbes that will help you decompose the material that's in your compost. And then I'll do another layer of that packaging paper that I had. Now the materials that you don't want to use and put into your compost in the bucket would be like anything meat, any bones, any diseased plants, since it's not a hot compost. And the last thing I do, I will water in so it is a little bit wet. And I will put the lid on it. I'm done filling up the compost bucket, so now I'm just going to wait. I will put the compost bucket in the corner and I will turn the compost every week at least, and then I'll continue to add some more scraps. So if I have any kitchen scraps, any plant material that I have from the garden, and I'll add it to the bucket, and then I'll keep adding it until it's full. And then at least once a week, keep turning it, add some water if it needs water. Now, if you have the correct ratios, then your compost bucket won't smell. If the compost starts to smell, what you'll need to do is add more brown material, so sticks. And if it gets too dry, then you'll want to add some more green material. And it could take up to 6 months to be able to finish the whole process of composting and decomposing everything. Now, some large sticks, like I had still a lot of roots and large sticks and large pieces of wood that didn't compost yet. So I'll just throw it back in and make sure I keep turning it. Anyone can learn how to compost, and I didn't think I was going to be able to actually compost in a bucket, especially on my garden in a small space. But I just wanted to show you that you can do it. It just takes a little bit longer compared to normal hot compost. I haven't had any issues with any bugs, any critters getting inside of the compost, and it doesn't smell. I hope you find this video useful and you can learn how to compost yourself and try it out. If you want me to continue to make videos like this, let me know in the comments. Let me know any other questions you have for composting in a bucket or in a small area. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next garden video. See you later, everyone.